been a pretty interesting day so far. I had a pretty good day at work. Actually, I uploaded like 2 videos today. Well, maybe not today when you're watching this video, or when I'm uploading it, because I might upload it like really late at night. But the point is, I upload videos. If you want to check those out, they're like 2 unboxings, a Loot Crate unboxing, and I unbox some amiibos. But yeah, to the news that I just came home to, and the news I heard a couple days ago that I wanted to talk about in a video that I wanted to make like today. There's 2 things I want to talk about. So first off, I want to talk about Storm 4 and the fact that it is delayed until 2016. Now so far this is only confirmed for Japan, but I can't really imagine that we'd get it earlier than Japan, at least not by that much earlier. The game was set to come out in fall of 2015, which is this year, and well, fall is really close, and for it to almost be fall, for them to still be saying like, yo, it's coming in fall, it's kind of weird for them to say that, because usually we would have a release date like, you know, September, October, November, something like that. People even thought, alright, maybe they'd go a little bit past fall and push it to December, because why the hell not? But now the game is pushed up until February of next year. Now the question is, do I really care? Not really, to be honest. I mean, I'm excited for the game, I want to play it as soon as possible, but I mean, there's a lot of things that have happened recently within like video game culture that pretty much are signifying that delays are kind of good in terms of video games, and I don't really know the reason of why they would have delayed the game, but whatever reason it is, if it's something that had to do with like the game just isn't working properly in terms of like, you know, certain bugs or glitches and they need extra time, that makes sense. I've been hearing other things though about the anime and how the anime hasn't caught up just yet. I mean, I think the most recent episode actually just had Guy going into his 8th gate mode, so it's not done just yet. It might be done. I'm pretty sure the anime is going to be done next year. It doesn't really seem like it's not going to be done next year, but it's kind of like the games themselves. Since this game is going up to the end of the series, it's kind of like spoiling the rest of the series. So for those people who didn't really read the manga and just say, I'm gonna watch the anime, well, they'd be spoiled, even though it doesn't really matter that much. See, that argument really just gets on my nerves, because it's like, okay, those people are going to be spoiled, but what about the other countries, like people in Europe or people in the US, who maybe don't keep up with the Japanese anime and don't keep up with what's going on in the Japanese anime, like the sub anime that's coming out? What if they just don't know about all that? What if they're not kept up with that? I mean, obviously it's just like, alright, you're gonna be left in the dust, so fuck you. We're gonna release the game anyways. If you don't know what's gonna happen, you're gonna find out by the game, and you don't have to wait for the anime to catch up in America or the manga to catch up in America. You're just gonna have it. Actually, by that point, because I'm not exactly sure how the manga releases are going for America, is that manga like done for America in terms of like the volumes that are coming out? I don't know if they're done in America just yet or not, but if they are, then that would make sense. Or wouldn't it be really awesome if, you know, the last manga volume came out right before the game is set to come out next year? I don't know if that would make any sense either, but I have been hearing arguments based on the continuity of the series and basically how the game is going to spoil a lot of things for people who aren't really caught up with it yet. All I gotta say is, no matter what it is that they're adding new stuff, if they're pretty much reforming the story, I mean, the story mode itself is supposed to be 10 hours. I don't see how they can make whatever is left in the story 10 hours. So whatever it is that they're doing, go ahead and do it. If they're making balance changes or doing whatever it is that they do, just do it. Make sure the game works when it comes out, because we know how fucking awful it is when games come out and they just don't work. I'm looking at you, Assassin's Creed Unity. That shit didn't work when it came out. You gotta fix that shit. Make sure next game that comes out, Syndicate, make sure that shit works when it comes out. Now I want my games to work when they come out, and if this delay has something to do with that, I'm okay with it. It doesn't really matter. I already know what happens at the end of the series. The only reason I'm really getting the game is to see how that plays out in terms of like the game, because I still kind of want to see some of the battles that happen in the manga in the anime, and I want to see those battles happen in the video games, because you know those battles are fucking badass, and watching those battles with the graphics of the video game and watching those battles with the animation of the anime, that's so different. It's so much better. But moving on to the second part of this, I actually came home to this information just recently that there is supposed to be a Naruto movie in the works. Not really sure how to feel about that. You see, every time I hear the words anime mixed with the words live action, it just drives me crazy. Like, it just drives my mind into thinking about Dragon Ball Evolution every single time. Granted, Dragon Ball Evolution could have been better. It just took some liberal changes and altered things that weren't meant to be altered. Now the question is, can there be a really good live action anime movie? Hell yes, there can be. I mean, I've heard of some of the anime movies that are coming out. I think there's this anime movie called Captain Harlock, if that is even a live action anime movie. I'm not really entirely sure about that. The Rurouni Kenshin live action movie, I've heard good things about that. And there can be very good live action anime movies out there. The only thing is you have to have the right person working on it, and besides that, you also have to make the storyline and everything that happens in the movie at least go alongside the original content of the series. So like whatever happens in the movie has to be something that is related to what happened in the manga and the anime. It has to relate to it, and it has to make sense. But mind you, I am going to put this in the same words I put into one of my most recent anime reviews. Actually, I think it was my review for Senran Kagura. So for Senran Kagura, it's basically an anime that's based off of a video game. So you're taking all the elements from a video game that would take maybe about 10 or so hours to complete, and putting it into a 13 episode anime. And in doing so, you lose a lot of content. You lose a lot of the emotional connection that you have with certain characters as you play with them and play alongside them. And you lose a lot of context and connectivity with the story itself when you go from this physical media that you're actually interacting with to this passive media that's basically you just watching what's happening on screen and not having really anything to do with the actual characters on screen. Now meanwhile, this is a little different because it's basically the stuff that you see on pages with manga or on the screen with anime going into a live action movie, which again is another screen. However, you have this huge series of Naruto, and there's so many different stories to tell. There's so many individual stories to tell to put into a movie that would supposedly be about 2 hours. Therein lies a problem of what story to tell, how to tell it, what type of spin to put on it, and how to make the movie to make it seem really good and not rely on a sequel in order to make it really be coherent. And as I say that, I kind of think of the one movie, Avatar. I don't even call it, it was not called Avatar, not Avatar, The Last Airbender, that live action movie. And I'd never seen it before because I was supposed to see it in the theaters, and immediately the day it came out, I heard how shitty it was, and I was like, not spending my money on that crap. But the point is, with that, I've been hearing a lot about this movie basically being about part of the Avatar The Last Airbender series. Not the entire thing. So it basically took a book, or I think it's a book, like the first book out of the entire series, the Book of Water, and it took that and made it into the movie itself. And I might be wrong in saying this because I have not seen this movie, but I would suppose that the movie would have to rely on sequels in order for it to be a complete story, such as the Book of Earth and the Book of Fire, which basically finishes off the entire Avatar series. Now, what I don't want is, I don't want a Naruto live action movie that starts off at an early stage of Naruto and basically has to introduce him as a character, has to introduce like this conflict that has to do with him and another character, and then go into all this detail just for them to get to a point where it's like, to be continued in the second movie. Then the unspeakable happens and it turns out to be an absolute flop because of certain shit like that. Because the thing is, a fan base like the Naruto fan base is going to get really split and divided on something like this. Like, alright, for example, if you guys want to, you can comment down below and tell me what part of the Naruto series, including the first part of the series and Shippuden, would you want to be made into a movie? What part do you think is really important to be made into a movie? What part is really that good to be made into a movie? And what villain should be the main villain of the movie? Some of you might say, yo, it should be Orochimaru. And some of you might say it should be Obito. And some of you might say it should be Madara. And some of you might say it should be Pain. And again, some of you might just say it should be Kaguya. The only thing is, who's right and who's wrong? I mean, fucking Kaguya is at the very end of the series, and starting off a movie, you kind of have to start off basically assuming that your audience knows jack shit about anything that's going on. Like, you just have to assume that. You can't just start out the movie basically being like, well, you see Naruto, you know what the fuck is going on. Let me just start you off right here, not explain a goddamn thing, because movies don't work that way. That would be a terrible movie from the get-go. So more than likely, what we're going to get in the end is some really shitty movie where we see Naruto just basically struggling to go through the very first part of the series. A lot of people don't like that crap because it's just like whiny, bitchy Naruto trying to become a part of the clan, part of the group, part of the fucking village, and actually be accepted by everybody. And it's going to screw up everything. Because we all know that Naruto doesn't get fully accepted until later in the series. Guess what? That movie can't cover all the way up to that point in the series. So we're going to have a lot of shit in the movie basically be changed and altered and shifted into something that we didn't even see coming, that we didn't ask for, and that we don't want. This is where I have the issue and the problem with a Naruto live action movie. And this goes for like a lot of different anime being made into movies, or even video games for that matter. It's just a factor of picking which story to tell, and then having to be forced to start off at the very beginnings of this character to build them up to actually be something by the end of the movie. And the fact that I had to sit through half of the Naruto series just to see Naruto be shit? You think I want to sit through a movie for 2 hours just to see Naruto be shit again? Fuck that. That doesn't sound good. That actually sounds like something that's going to be kind of bad. All I'm saying is, they can make a live action movie for all I care. It doesn't really make that big of a difference. I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna pay money to go see it, just like I fucking paid money to go see Dragon Ball Evolution. It's going to be a thing that I'm going to do. If they make it, they release it in America, I'm gonna go see it. No matter if it's bad or good. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna go see it. The only thing I'm saying is, it doesn't really sound like something like that will work out. If they found a way to do it, kudos. Kudos to them, but I cannot see them actually doing so. But yo, I've been ranting on for a very long time in this video. This video might actually be very, very long. I'm sorry for you guys that stick around, but if you did stick around, then thank you very much for doing so. I would love to actually hear your opinions on the Naruto live action movie, and also, if you stuck around for the Storm 4 news, I would love to hear if you are excited to play Storm 4 in 2016 or not. So put all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this one, where you watch a dude on YouTube rant and rave for about 15 minutes about Naruto. And for now, it's me, NextLevelOtaku, saying stay gold, and I'll see you guys later.